motorbikes.
Wie schallt's von der Höhe?
We move to a different sort of off-road event, hill climbing at Mollu in Austria. This event is the first of its kind here in this country. It may not be as rough and challenging as in other places, but it is entertaining to watch, if a bit dodgy for some of the spectators at times. This is another sport that was imported from the States, where they specialize in building monster motorcycles to get up awesome hills. Here, most of the machines are motocrossers, and most of the spectators are frightened. Or at least uneasy. The riders too, by the looks of it. A spectacular eject there. Out of the way, boys and girls. And what catches your eye here in Mollu are the Michelin men, those stout fellows who really put profile tyres and engine power to the test. Not to mention gravity. There you get some idea of the sheer height they're scaling. This man reaches quite a respectable distance. There is no way he's going to let that elderly KTM loop out, but it surely does, despite the chest against the bars technique. The let's go back and start again technique. And the let's go for virgin grass technique. But even the grassy line, welcoming though it may seem, doesn't help. He's still bouncing. And that's a brave and loudly applauded attempt. And once again, the slow, steady progress of number 22 on the old KTM. But he's about to predict, he's about to fire the ejector button. Now we see it from a different view. Now, wait for the eject button. But the question is it how far the man or the machine goes up the hill? We await the judge's verdict. Well, that brave attempt to hang on to the bars like we saw the professionals doing earlier, as opposed to just let the thing go straight away. Now, all the latest gear, the helmet, the graphics, the designer attire, and the same end result. But he's well pleased with that. He got further than the X. Now let's take a look at that from a different angle, and you can really appreciate how the motorcycle exploded. It's a good job we didn't have fans on that particular side of the road. They call him the Waltz King, a 500 Honda. Horses for courses doesn't always help. Number 145, notice the brave, brawny forearms about to get sweetly skinned in a passing tree. And yet again, the YZ Yamaha suffering from sheer lack of revs until he's going downhill. Horses for courses again, and this brutal 500cc Honda almost makes it. Showering our camera lens with dust. Another camera angle shows just how close he was to making it over the brink. And we leave him in that position. Rejoin us again in a few minutes for more action.
Ow. Try it on, baby.
For a private viewer, please retune your audio receiver to 7.02 megahertz or contact your installer.
Be careful where you park. A fine use to put your local quarry to. We believe you. Things have gone well for our brave local hero. Not too many crashes, coming to the end of a fine day's riding. Full hole across this sort of firm-looking riverbed. If only it weren't for this mud hole. Keep that throttle on. His cruel, cruel friends from a higher, drier grandstand enjoy the succulent spectacle. Right now, home must feel like a very, very long way away. We move to the World Enduro Championship at Pont de Salar in France. It's raining once again, surprise, surprise. The special stage is one huge mud field. But people are still having a lot of fun thanks to Oscar Nacional, the wild and crazy enduro freak from San Remo. There's nothing he won't do to give his idols a hand. Enduro is his life. This is Oscar showing them the hot line and helping when they don't find it. He may not be that strong, but when it comes to moral support, he's the greatest. A graceful little limbo. Looks more like Oscar's holding onto the bike than helping to push it. More encouragement. Go, go, go. So let's salute Oscar Nacionale, enduro freak from San Remo, and move on to the Battle of the Kings in Hungary, where off-road champions of various disciplines vie for the crown. This is Giovanna Sala, world enduro champ, nutting a tree as he loses a little bit of precious time, but thoroughly enjoys himself trying to find the gravel road. And this is another world enduro champion, the 350 champ Anders Eriksson, pushing his Zuckerberg to the limit and beyond. A classic high side. and a very annoying one. This is Arnaldo Nicoli giving it all he's got until the crucial moment when he hits the turn. And this is Belgium's 35-year-old, 5 times world motocross champion, the great Georges Jobet, on a KTM, finding out that enduro territory is, well, foreign to him. So were those trees a few moments ago.
Hey, I cannot go out. Never I can go out there.
Yes, George is stuck there for life. Meanwhile, we move to the island of Elba, where Napoleon was sent into exile. It's also host to the Rally Transitalia, the Off-Road Challenge, and the Swiss National Enduro Championship. We wonder perhaps if Napoleon would have enjoyed this sort of highly personalised warfare with machines and country. It might have been right up his street. This particular climb wasn't quite up this guy's street, so he decided to bail out. And now the Tunisian rally once again. Desert rally riders are no wimps when it comes to taking their share of risks and the hard knocks that go with them. Well, this kind of riding has led to some very hairy accidents, and that was when the fun suddenly turned serious. Crashes like this have led to great riders like three-times world motocross champion André Malherbe being badly injured, but factories pay big money for victory. Thankfully, however, the consequences of spectacular falls like this are not always so serious.
The road dog is good and can see.
At the end of our series of crash-out images, we now come to the crash event to end all crash events. The legendary Hillclimb Rachau of 1995. The onlookers get the show they came for, the drivers have their action, the spare parts industry comes away with enough orders to last them until the end of the century. As for us, we get pictures which we are passing on to you, so sit back, let these men astound and amaze you. This is probably the shortest amount of time you can actually enjoy riding an off-road machine. Enduros, of course, last for many hours. And with this hill climb, you probably can fit in perhaps, at the most 20 seconds before you simply send your motorcycle into a state of potential orbital destruction. Off-road team is always on the lookout for kooky, flipped out, insane or just plain extraordinary off-road events anywhere in Europe. So if you know of anything of the sort, please don't hesitate to let us know. On screen, our fax number in Switzerland. Tell us where and when and give us a brief summary of what it's all about. Our thanks in advance. For action as potentially daft and awesome as this. That was a perfectly presentable motorcycle a few seconds ago. Whatever you do, watch your motorbike once you've fallen off it, because it might just be intending to eat you. Yes, it's the unidentified falling object once again, transferring his attentions to Austria. And that's Michelin Man once again, showing us his spectacular style and on a slightly more modern KTM. Man and machine in perfect harmony. Form of formation dancing. No good getting upset about the damage you're doing, my boy. Can you run faster than your motorbike? That is the question. Yes, sir, especially when I'm going downhill. It's no good trying to catch it, son. Well, the motocross bikes can't make it, the enduro bikes can't make it. What about the trials bike, ridden by the star of the local bar? No? Looks like not. A panic-stricken exit. Yes, he's seen it all before. There's an air of tragic predictability on this sequence of assaults on this venomous hill. But just a minute. Whoop. The higher you get, the harder you fall. If I hold on to this long enough, I know I can stop it. I can beat gravity. Oh, perfect. The perfect flying W. Now you've seen it. How you can almost go over the front of the handlebars up a 1 in 2 hill. A gallant attempt from a little snappy 125. So much for the crashes, pain and suffering this particularly insane corner of the off-road scene has offered. We hope you enjoyed it. No need to feel guilty, because off-roaders can laugh about their own mishaps just as easily as they can laugh about the next guy's blunders. Campfire talk is proof of that. Crashes are a part of life for every off-roader. So we wave a novel goodbye to Body Check, with thanks, of course, to our host Gunter Meyer for compiling such a rowdy roundup of biking mayhem.